how to handle input and output options. So we will use these options regularly. In different other examples also, I will show you how we can handle output and input properties. We will learn about a topic called services. When we learn about services, we can do more better. We can see some real world examples also, how to handle them. So the primary concept, I hope everyone understood. We need two options, one for input, another for output. That is transporting data from parent to child and child to parent. So today we will see one simple example. Already I showed you one example. I will explain one more time a fast overview of what we discussed yesterday so that you can get a clarity. So I will just take an example here. Just for your understanding sake, I am explaining one more time a fast overview for this. So same example what I have done, so that in next levels we can see different examples on various options. So what we done yesterday and how we done that, let's see. Let's open a terminal and generate some components here. Suppose I created products ng generate component, products catalog. Products catalog is one component. Skip test. So we are using products catalog. That is the option. And one more component we will generate. We will generate another component, ng generate components. And we will create as products filter and skip test. So we are adding two options, products catalog and products filter. These are the two components. Okay. So I will keep the products catalog in the startup. So products catalog in the startup. So the products catalog is to display all products. It is used for displaying all products. Technically, it should display all products. So generally, we will go to the index and keep that products catalog in the startup. I'm adding this products catalog. Okay. So is working fine. Yeah, products catalog is working fine. So let's design this. Let's create an option here. So we will go to the products catalog, and in the products and text center. Okay, and we will just put a class row, and we will just put another div with the class call to. So call to, and we design another one class as call sum 9 or 10. Okay, and here we want to display the data. So I'm just designing a table. I'm just using a table. We can use anything. Yesterday we designed a card. I'm temporarily using a table here, and table will have a class table and table hover, and in the table we have t head, so tr and th. We have the name and the price, and we have preview. These are the options. Then we will go into t body. In the t body, we will use an ng container. This container should iterate ng for let item of products. It should generate a row for every product, and in that row we need to display. One is item dot name. Another, we need to display item dot price, and another we are displaying image, right? So we will keep an image. Image source is item dot photo, and width and height 50/50, width height, so 50/50 height and width we define. Okay, this is the data, and this time we are displaying the data in a grid form like this. That is the data we have in a grid form. So the products related information belonging to different categories. Now we need to apply a filter on this. Already we discussed that we will see this in different examples. So this is not just finished. You just learned with some data. Later, when you learn about services, you can see how you can create a reusable component which can work for different types of data. Currently, it is working for products. You can design in such a way that it can work for different types of data also. Those we will see in the next levels, how we can manage them, right? Now, in this, we have to define a filter. So let's go to products filter. In the products filter, we are designing a filter. This time I am using a div. So class as a form group, and so here we have a header. So just say select a category, and this time now I am using an unordered list. In that list item, and I am using a radio button. Input type is equal to radio. Radio have a name called filter, and this is all. I'm just copying that. So I'm copying this. We have the radios. So this is for electronics, and this is for footwear, and another for fashion. And here I am applying a class as a list unstyle, and you can see that here it is having that this is a products filter. I want to keep that products filter left side in the left panel. So go to the products catalog. This is the left panel. In the left panel, we will add app products filter. We are adding products filter component. So it is added, and you can see left side, we have those options. We have electronics, we have electronics, we have footwear, we have fashion. This time I'm using the option, 1 second. Yeah, so now we need to handle this this header in the filter. In the filter, I will keep this a short one. Just we will keep this in a div. Okay, that's enough. Okay, right. Now this is what we designed in the output here. So now user can select any category like all electronics, footwear, fashion, so that only those details will be displayed in the right side. So first point, what we discussed is how we can transport the data from parent to child. To transport the data from parent to child, in child component is the filter component. In the child component, in the filter component, there must be some properties which can access the data from parent component. So that means we are defining all count. We are defining all count. We are defining electronics count. So count. And we are defining footwear count. We are defining fashion count. Okay. All are initially set to 0. Anyhow, they will be overridden. Initially, we are setting to 0. All are setting to 0. Okay. And now important part here is in this components. So we need to define the filter component here. In the filter component, beside all, I want to display the details, all count. Beside electronics, I want as electronics count. And for footwear, we want footwear count. And for fashion, we want fashion count. These details need to be displayed. Initially, those details will keep everything empty. That means we don't have any. So all 0, electronics 0, footwear 0, fashion 0. These details must be sent from the parent component to the child. Then in that case, these all must be marked with input. They must be marked with input. So input allows the property to accept value from another component. So now in the parent component, this is the parent component. Now products filter have all the properties, all count is equal to, and we have electronics count is equal to, and fashion count, footwear count is equal to, and the fashion count so is equal. All the properties are accessible here. Now from parent component, we need to send these properties into the filter. Parent component can send all count directly by using products.length. Products.length. Now electronics count, footwear count, fashion count, electronics, footwear, fashion count, they need some expression. We cannot directly handle the expression here. So what we are doing, we are going to the catalog. Here we are defining the expression. That means we are creating a property all count. All count is already there. So we have electronics count. And how do we get electronics count? This dot products dot filter based on the category is equal to electronics. If the category is electronics, then get the length and store that. So it will get the length and it will display electronics count. Similarly, we are using another, so footwear count, and this dot, it depends on footwear length. And another one is fashion count, and this contains the options fashion. It will search for fashion category and return the length of the items which are matching with the fashion category. So these values need to be sent to the filter here. That means electronics count will come from electronics count, footwear count comes from footwear count, and the fashion count comes from the fashion count. These are actually the values we defined. Now these values will be updated into the child component. We have all 6, electronics 2, footwear 2, and fashion 2. Yeah, so that means the parent component is sending data into the child component. Now child component should emit a value to the parent component. That means the selected radio button name, selected radio button value must be sent into this, and radio buttons also will respond to an event called change. Yesterday we done drop down. Similarly, radio buttons also can respond to change. Radio buttons can respond to change. So when radio button is changed, make sure that you know that radio buttons all should have a common name, but they have different values. So go to filter component. Radio buttons have different values. The value for this is all, and the value for this is electronics, and the value for this is footwear, and the value for this is fashion. So these values we need to collect whenever the radio button is changing, and we need to emit the value to the parent component. So these values we need to collect. Then there must be a property to collect the value. That means we will create selected category name. Selected category name is initially all. So we will bind this to the radio buttons, because if we bind with the radio buttons, then you can collect the value from the radio buttons. It will be changed. All will be changed. So how do we bind with radio buttons? So all radio buttons will use two-way binding technique, NG model, bind with selected category name. Now all radio buttons have to use the same. All radio buttons have to use the same because out of all, only one will be selected. And which radio button you selected, its value will be stored here. That means now this contains the selected category name. And this selected category name should be emitted through an event. So we will create an event. We will create an event. So that is emit category name. We are giving an event emit category name. How you can make this as an event? How you can make this as an event? So to make this as an event, so it should be of, it should implement, it is of type event emitter. We will keep an event emitter here. So we will keep an event emitter here, means import the event emitter. It should be of type event emitter. Currently event emitter returning a string, that means a new event emitter. I told you event emitter can emit any value. It should return a string. It should return a string. Event emitter can return anything. It can even empty also. That means it can return emit null also. In some more examples in different levels with services and other components I will show you. So here currently according to our example, the event emitter, so this is an event, emit category name is an event. This emit category name event should emit the category name. It should emit the category name whenever the category is changed. That means we have to write, so on category change, on category changed, on category changed. Whenever the category changed, this should emit the selected category name. That means this dot emit category name event should emit, it should emit this dot selected category name. That means it is sending the current category name. So that means this method will fire up whenever user is changing the radio button. And whenever user changes the radio button value will be collected here, and that radio button value will be emitted. Its value will be emitted. So we need to do that. So what we are doing now, so we have to use this event, use this method on the change of every radio button. That means every radio button, including this all radio button, have to use change event. On change, it should say on category change. On category changed will fire up. For all radio buttons, the same option. For all radio buttons, the same option will work. For all radio, so the same option will work. So here we are defining the same for all radios. So yeah, we are using the same for all radios. So we are defining the same for all radios. Okay. So that means whenever the radio is changed, it will automatically emit the selected category name. Okay, that means that functionality is ready. Whenever the category changed, it will emit the selected category name. That emitted category name must be collected in our parent component, and it should be used locally. That means emit product catalog. This product catalog must have a property. This property get category name. Get category name is a property. Currently it is all. It should get the category name. It should get the category name from the child component. It should get the category name from the child component when the value is emitted. That means here we will create a method, component category changed. Component category changed is a method. Whenever the component category changed method is called, it will get the category name and it will assign to this local category name. So you will use here, we will use here event. That event contains the category name, which we will collect and apply here. That means this dot get category name contains event. That means whatever the value passed from the event. Better for reasonably, I will say event value. I am using event value. It will get the event value and use. That means whenever the component category changed fires up, it gets the event value and assigns to the local one. So that means what we have to do, you have to go to the products catalog component. Now this products filter have its own event. We have to use that event. And the event we need to configure. See, that event is not available. Why? Because if you want any event available, then the event that you have created, you have to mark it. So this is the event. Now it is not available to another component. Then you have to mark it at the output. So output when you are sending a value, input when you are getting the value. When you mark as output, now this emit category name is available. So let's go to the component, and here we can use the event binding emit category name. It should access the method. We have a method that is a component category changed. Into the method, it should pass the emitted value. That means emitted value is passed by using $event. So that value we are collecting here, and we are assigning to this category name. That means the category name will be updated according to the which category, according to the category selected by the user. So that means now what we have to do here is we need to go to, means everything is ready here. So we need to go to the component catalog. Here we have to write a condition for displaying the rows. I don't want all rows to be displayed in the iteration. I need a condition now. The condition is nothing but ng if, and this based on the condition is if get category name is equal to all. If get category name is equal to all. If the category name is all. What do you mean by value? What do you mean by property? Mr. Babu? What do you mean by value? What do you mean by property? You separated two things, value and property. Do you know property contains value? Mr. Babu? You know that property contains value, right? Your question is completely inappropriate, right? You are asking, will it emit only value or will it only emit other properties also? I already told you, right? You know that property contains value, right? So the point is, you can send all properties. You can send any one specific property. Currently it is a string type. If it is an object type, it will send all properties of that particular object. Am I right? I hope everyone understood that. It can be string type. That means it can types. So you can even send an object also. Na? Object may contain collection of several properties, right? Yeah. That means we can send an object also, not only one. So that means this event emitter necessarily not to be string type. That's what we discussed, na? That means it's not necessarily to be string type. It can be any type. Any type means it can be primitive type, it can be non-primitive type, it can be an object also. Not only object, it can be a custom type also. Custom type means your own type. So it's a generic na. That means you can create a product type, you can send set of properties there directly, right? So you can send any object, you can send even an array also. You can send even an array. In service concept, you will see such examples, how you can send an array or an object like concept, right? So here, if a category name is all or get category name is equal to any one of the item dot category, is any one of the item dot category, then it will display them. That means now you can see in the output, you can see it is all, and I say electronics, then only electronic products will come, and footwear, only the footwear products will come, and fashion, only the fashion products will come, and all will come, right? So you can send any kind of details, any type of data, and you can use the data. So here we are sending the product name. Here we are sending the category name. It's a string type. You can send an object, you can collect an object, and you can use an object. Because already we know, we learned about event. Na? When we learned about event, you know, $event contains client X, client X, client Y. That means all these are what? Multiple properties only. Na? It has shift key, alt key. How you can send all these? You can send all this by using a simple object reference. By using an object reference, you can emit anything. In later examples, we will see that. For example, temporarily. So here, so this is the same concept. I have done few changes here. I will upload this also just for your reference sake. So we have two components, ng generate component. So one is products catalog, skip test, test. Another one is ng generate component, that is products filter, and skip test. Just roughly I'm giving here test, yeah. And here products catalog. So products catalog dot component dot ts. In the products catalog dot ts, this will be the code. Catalog dot ts, this is the code. So let's keep that code here. That is the code for the products catalog. And products catalog dot component dot html. So this is the HTML code. So let's keep this code also for you, right? And here, so another option, products filter dot component dot ts. So we have products component dot ts, right? We cannot semicolon. Yesterday I already told you, na? You cannot. Every property requires an individual configuration, right? Yeah. This is the products filter dot component dot ts, right? So one more, products filter dot component dot html, and that contains that HTML. So let's add that filter HTML. This time we have some radios here. So displaying the data, we have some radio options here. Radio options here. This is just another reference for you, right? A reference for you. Let's see here one point. Actually, in products filter component, this is a products filter component. Filter component. In the products filter component, I am creating an object. I am creating an object. So public, I will define as product contract. Okay, this product contract contains the product name, and it contains product price. Initially, I just defined these two. And in stock, that is true or false. So a Boolean value. This is one object. This is an object which contains several properties. So product contract is one. What I am doing now is I am creating another output, and here we defined public. So emit product details. I am using emit product details, and this emit product details is an event emitter, and this time it is an object that is any type. That means it is a new event emitter of any type. It is a new event emitter of any type. It is a new event emitter of any type. That means you can see here, it is an event emitter of any type. Now what should happen is, on a button click, I want this to emit all these details. I want to emit all these details to the parent component. I want to emit all this to the parent component. So suppose what we are doing is we are creating a method public on button click. So this dot emit product details dot emit this dot. So we have the product contract, this dot product contract. This time this is an object with a collection of properties. I hope everyone understood this stuff. That means we need a button click. On the button click, we need to send all these details. So in the product filter, just for temporarily understanding sake, here I will keep a button and send product details. And here on click, it should execute that method. That means on method. On button click, it is sending that. That means now in the products component, in the products catalog component, so we are accessing that products filter. This products filter is having one more event now. One event is emit category name, which is emitting the category name. It is emitting the category name. And you have another option name, that is emit product details. So emit product details, I need a local method which can collect those details. That means I will create a method here. So I will create a method public. So get product details. Get product details is a method. And here we have a property called product details. And actually it is an object. It is an empty. Product details is an object. I will keep this as an empty object. Product details is an empty object. So it is an empty object. And this get product details will execute. So get product details will execute. And into that, we will pass that event. Into that, we pass that event. Into that we are passing the event. We are configuring and we are passing the event, right? That means now this emit product details is not emitting one value. It is emitting an object actually. You see, it is emitting an object here. It is emitting an object. So that object we have to collect here. We have to collect that object here. So that means by using event, we can collect that object. This dot product details, it contains that event. Actually, this event is an object. That means product details contains all the details. All the details. We can display those details. We can collect and display those details. So we can print the details. So here in the products catalog, somewhere at the bottom, I want to print the details. Somewhere at the bottom, below the table, I will do one thing. Below this table, I will put a break. Here I want to keep a div and print the product details. So I will say here, product details, and the JSON. JSON is a filter which displays in a JSON format, product details.json. Initially, you see here, there is a product details button. We have a product details button. On click of product details, you can see at the bottom of my page, those details came here. That means all the details came. That means initially when we load this, so there are no details here. So when I click on this product details, it is sending a set of so many properties. You can see when I click product details, it will send all the details here and it will display all the details. That means the product name, product price, in stock, it is sending all of them. So this time we have an event emitter which is sending multiple data. Now we can append the data and we can configure the data, right? So yes, ask a question now, right? What is your question? Yes, what is your question, Raghavendra?
Hello, sir. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sir, my doubt is like when normally event holds all the values, right, sir? Like it has all the properties of that.
Just like now we have designed.
Yeah, just like now what we have designed. So what gap is like? How is it directly holding? Like when you are sending the event in the output emitter, how is it directly getting the value? Like
we are emitting the value into the context of component. Context is a memory. Understood? Every component have a context memory. That into the context memory, these values are stored and they are kept so that they are accessible to another component that runs within the context of current component. Understood?
That one I got it, sir. But what I'm missing is, so now you are sending an event directly, $event, right?
We are not sending an event. We are passing the event parameters. $event or event arguments. No? You are not there in that session. $event is event arguments, not event.
Yeah, event arguments. Yeah, true, sir. So event arguments.
They are event arguments, not event. Right? This is event. Which one is event? So this products filter is there. The products filter is having this is event name.
Right.
Into that, the event contains some properties which it is emitting. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are sent into this event argument. $event is an event argument handler, na? You are not there in events concept.
Oh,
you are not there in events concept. We learned that there are two event arguments, this and event.
Right. Yeah. True. Sir. Yeah.
Then what do you think this event is now? $event is.
So actually, I remember like we have only like in Angular we use only events. We don't use this.
It sends both of them, na? Object related properties and it sends object related properties as well as event related properties also.
Right, sir. So when we here now this dollar event, it has both the values like object related properties as well as
No, it is currently event related only, na? Right? It can have both. Dollar event means it can have both. In the current context, we don't have, na? It can have. Understood? This dollar event can have object related properties as well as this event related properties also. Object related properties means what is the current object now here?
it's a
Products filter.
Yeah, product filter.
Products filter is the current object. Am I right? That
Right,
current
right.
object properties means current
All-
object properties means all count, electronics count,
Yeah,
right? Then how you will access those properties through this event parameter? We have to obviously use, suppose I'll keep an alert here, right? We have to use an event dot target. Am I right?
yeah.
Target dot all count. Understood? That is for object related properties. Target is for object related properties. Directly
Yeah.
event related properties will come. Understood?
Still I'm having some gaps there.
I think you are not there in our events class properly. You are not there in our event binding sessions, right? You are there?
Yeah, I think I was there, sir, but I somehow I missed, I hope.
Yeah. This is very straightforward, clear. I showed you in even JavaScript also. How the events are passed.
What I'm missing is like I'm feeling like we need to use events.targets.allCount like that. So
Event.target is used to get object properties, not event properties. I already told you why you cannot use into the event, why JavaScript uses this and event. You know this, huh? At least?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, sir.
What is for this?
This refers to that particular
object.
Element, yeah.
Object, right? And event for event properties. Now in Angular, we don't have that, only event.
Right.
In all our previous examples also, we used this dollar event only to access object properties like target.start. Were you there in mouse events session? Start is a method of a marquee. Target.value, it gets the value, right?
Yeah, sir.
This target object contains object related properties. Directly event contains event related properties. Understood?
So one more small clarity, sir. So object related properties is nothing but suppose let's consider in this case itself. So if I'm taking an element, button or something like that.
No
so
need much explanation. Current object is what? In this example, current object is which one? Which one is current object? App products filter. That is the current object. What property it is having?
All count, electronics count.
How you will send those properties? How you will send those properties?
Event, sir, using the event itself.
Directly event can hold those properties of object. Directly event can hold the properties of that particular object. It cannot hold.
Yeah.
You have to do that by using target. This is for that object related properties. Event have its own properties. Event properties also there. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Event properties we access by using what? Event. That's it. Event will get all the event properties.
Event properties means, can you give some examples?
Already we are emitting a value, na? Emitting value. Which value you are emitting, that is event property, right?
Okay.
This is emitting, na? Emit. What it is emitting?
Output.
What output? Product contract, right? Product contract it is emitting, na?
Yes, sir.
Right? That means this product contract is coming here, right?
Yeah, right, sir. Right, sir. Got it. Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah. Thanks a lot, sir.
Right. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So this is the basic example, right? So little bit will be confusion if you are not perfect with JavaScript and all, right? That's the reason here. So it's once you try that, it will get the details and display the details. So you can understand later them, right? How to handle and all. So initially, this is how we can create our custom events and pass and configure those custom events. Later in different examples, we can do more about these custom events and working with them. Now, many points are clear, I think, for how to send one value, how do we send multiple values and configure them, right? Then once you know this, the next point is we need to understand about how we can use built-in components of Angular. Built-in components of Angular. Components of Angular. That is what we call as Angular material. How we can use Angular material. It provides ready-made components like this with predefined functionality, which you can inject into your application and use. So this is very big and important concept. It's just like Bootstrap that people use. So you can configure predefined components, inject them into your application, and you can access and use them. So this is one major concept in Angular to make our Angular applications more interactive, right? And this we will see in our next session, right? Today we can conclude this because we have to start this in a new topic, a new concept. And tomorrow we don't have any session, right? Again, we will meet on Monday. Tomorrow, no session. Again, we will meet on Monday, right? So Monday, we will start working with Angular material. Okay. Right.